Lawmakers introduced the Justice for Jocelyn Act. It's July 12, 2024, and these are your headlines. Representatives Troy Nehls and Senator Ted Cruz from right here in Texas have introduced legislation to enhance the detention and tracking of illegal aliens entering the U.S. You might remember 12-year-old Jocelyn Act from Houston was assaulted and murdered by two illegal aliens from Venezuela in June. Both illegal aliens crossed into the U.S. through El Paso. After apprehension by U.S. Border Patrol, they were released into the country as part of the Alternatives to Detention program. At the time of Jocelyn's assault and murder, one illegal alien suspect wore a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement GPS monitor. The other was permitted to remove his monitor after 21 days. The proposed Justice for Jocelyn Act would require that every available ICE detention bed be used before releasing an illegal alien as part of the Alternatives to Detention program. If no beds are available, the Department of Homeland Security must exhaust all reasonable efforts to keep an alien in custody. The new legislation would also require GPS monitoring of individuals for the duration of immigration proceedings and would force judges to remove any alien who has violated a release order. Jocelyn's mother said that the act would have prevented Jocelyn's death and kept her two murderers from being on the street. According to previous reports, ICE's enforcement and removal operations units arrested more than 73,000 illegal aliens with criminal backgrounds in 2023. Representative Chip Roy, along with 16 other House members, are calling on the Biden administration to push back against countries that failed to take back their illegal aliens. They sent a letter to U.S. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas and Secretary of State Antony Blinken. They're requesting the names of all countries currently listed as recalcitrant. It means countries that are listed at risk of non-compliance, and what type of visa sanctions have been imposed on the uncooperative countries. Specifically, the letter draws concern about Chinese nationals, that they're continuing to flood across the U.S. border, and explains that China is one of the most uncooperative countries when it comes to taking back its own citizens. As of May of this year, more than 31,000 Chinese nationals have been encountered at the southern border thus far in fiscal year 2024, which has already surpassed last fiscal year's 24,000 encounters. The lawmakers state that in April of 2023, U.S. Customs and Border Protection instructed its agents to reduce the number of questions from 40 to only 5 when vetting Chinese nationals, making it more difficult to detect national security threats. Furthermore, in fiscal year 2023, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement only removed 288 Chinese nationals from the U.S., with nearly 100,000 nationals with final orders of removal remaining in the country, as Beijing was slow or in some cases outright refused to take its citizens back. Now, alongside China being non-compliant and accepting its citizens back, as of July 2020, ICE has also listed the following countries: Bhutan, Burundi, Cambodia, Cuba, Hong Kong, India, Iran, Iraq, Laos, Pakistan, and Russia are as recalcitrant countries. 10, additionally, ICE considers Afghanistan, Algeria, Azerbaijan, Burma, Ethiopia, Gambia, Israel, Jordan, Mauritania, North Macedonia, Samoa, Sierra Leone, South Sudan, Tonga, Ukraine, Vietnam, and Yemen. This is like a pronunciation test of noncompliance. Several other Texas congressmen signed the letter as well, including Representatives Randy Weber, Brian Babin, Dan Crenshaw, and Pat Fallon.
What are the important things out there in Texas politics and Texas news that matter to you, and what can you do about it? That's what we want to bring you with the Luke Messia Show on a weekly basis for 20 to 30 minutes. That way you can get the information and go do something for the rest of your week. I look forward to coming to you every Wednesday.
Lastly, a third victim has come forward in a lawsuit over a teacher's sexual abuse of pre-K students at Lorena Primary School, further implicating the school's embattled principal. As newly discovered information was revealed in an amended complaint filed on June 26th by the parents of a previously known victim, identified in the case as Jane Doe. The amendment alleges that Principal April Jewell was told about the teacher's earlier sexual misconduct with the third victim, identified as Student B, but failed to act, allowing the teacher to then victimize Jane. Jane's parents sued Principal Jewel and Lorena ISD last August after pre-K teacher Nicholas Crenshaw pleaded guilty to sexually abusing Jane and a second victim, identified in the documents as Student A. During the 2020 to 2021 school year, Crenshaw went to prison, but Jewel, kept her job. The lawsuit alleges that Jewel and other district administrators failed to protect the students who were 4 and 5 years old at the time of the abuse, despite warnings about Crenshaw's inappropriate behavior with the girls. Lorena ISD did not oppose the request to amend the complaint, but Jewel did. Parents in Lorena ISD aren't backing down, though. They've created a Facebook group called Justice for Jane to share news and updates about the case. Parents are also working with advocacy group Texas Education 911, as well as state lawmakers on legislation to remove school officials' immunity from lawsuits in sexual misconduct cases. For more of today's stories, go to texasscorecard.com.